All right, we're back here for our final match of week one, or our final normal feature match. We do have our little bonus coverage coming up after here. And we got Chris O against Zach H, who they're both 0-0. So basically, we got original decks from the pool. So might be a bit wonky with the colors here without any packs. But Chris has a pretty nice hand ready to go. What's Zach looking at? I see a mulligan there.
Zach had to
Two
mulligan
mulligans.
twice. Two hands that were unfortunate. The second one with no lands at all. And now we're just having two other lands: an acrobatic cheerleader, horrid vigor, and another acrobatic cheerleader. So at least all things that can be played.
Yeah, so if he doesn't have removal, he might be having trouble with this Nashi here. Um, so the rest of Chris's hand, he has a Trial of Agony, which is that little 1 mana red uncommon. And then he has a Glassworks, and the rest of his hand are lands. So he's playing a
I
Grixis deck.
presume.
He has 2 removals and 4 lands.
I presume what's coming down now is enduring vitality, which might help. I think he's thinking about it, but I'm not sure. It is enduring vitality.
Okay, that's a nice one.
I think probably the best of the vitalities.
Um, I mean, the white one and the red one. The red one I found has been just a insane beater. But yeah, this one's really nice too. The red one,
Okay,
just
got
the
Grixis going.
explosiveness of the ability. It's pretty good. Oh well, I mean, he did, with 4 lands in hand, he definitely did not want to draw any lands. Looks like
Mm-hmm.
he's just going to use the Glassworks here. I think he did draw a Ghostly Keybearer for his turn, which is that 3/3 that can unlock rooms.
That's interesting. I guess he went full rooms, maybe.
Yeah, so
Try
this
to put as
Enduring
many.
Vitality. This is like the effect is still good, right? Like the effect is still fine
Exactly.
here. I mean that's true for all of them. The black one maybe a little bit less in Duskmourn Limited, but all the other enduring cards have
Interesting
been
play
pretty good.
here, because he could have put out both the House Cartographer and Acrobatic Cheerleader with this to have two blockers for Nashi, but
Yeah, House
maybe preferred
Cartographer is a
to.
value play because it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed draw land
Yeah,
every turn with the Vitality here. You
exactly.
just tap it for mana and go to town. So hopefully he sees that. He should. He's just going to attack. There's a trick of some kind.
Wow, it's very aggressive.
Was there a trick of some kind or?
There's Horrid Vigor in hand.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, makes sense. Ghostly Keybear.
I just think,
Ooh. Okay, we have some cards in hand here for
okay,
Chris. He has a Meat Locker. He has Fear of Being Hunted, which was seen from the.
pretty solid.
But for turn, he's drawn the Roller Crusher Ride, which has
Yeah,
proven to
that one's
be
fun.
among the best cards in the set. Once he gets 6 mana, all 3 of these creatures can die. So it's not a ride you wanna be on.
There's also another Nashi somewhere in the deck, I presume, hiding away.
Okay, very nice.
So
Yeah, I, I mean, it looks like Zack is deciding to race here, but the cards he's racing against are making it very difficult, right? Nashi's getting value.
totally.
This Ghostly Keybearer just added 5 mana to his mana pool for free, basically,
Yeah,
to unlock the
uh,
Shattered Yard. It's like,
especially starting with two mulligans, like going this aggressive. I'm not sure.
yeah.
I'm not sure about this,
But it's like, once again, your
but
opponent has a
let's see.
menace and a flyer. Like, you can't really block them in a
Mm-hmm.
way that's good for you. So, like, I get it,
That's true.
but yeah,
Oh,
it's
this
a
is
tough spot
interesting.
either way. But he says, my opponent has evasion. I just need to attack. I just need to
He could preserve one of the
do
creatures
something.
here by casting Horrid Vigor and then choosing the creature that is now indestructible. But whether or not he wants to waste a card on that,
Yeah, I feel
I
like
don't
he'd
know.
rather use Horrid Vigor to kill a creature, but that might not be an option here. So he might just use it.
The other card in hand is seen by the opponent, so I mean, I think these creatures are really what you have to work with.
Yeah, and this fear of being hunted is sort of looming over potentially
Exactly.
a future turn here.
Yeah, that's pretty sensible.
Okay, so it's keeping the House Cartographer alive. It is a guaranteed card draw.
This Trial of Agony is a card that's done work. I When I first saw it, I was a bit skeptical, but it often just helps you so much for 1 mana.
I'm still a bit skeptical. I usually don't like these. We've had them from time to time. Actually, not that many. There was one in Lord of the Rings. There was one way back in Ixalan block. It's like this 1 mana red spell basically kill the second best creature in play for
Hmm.
1 mana. Like in some way, we've seen it a slightly different way. One creature deals damage equal to its power to another creature, or like it's always been medium. I think they juiced it up a little by making it better in aggressive deck because it effectively
Yeah.
removes 2 creatures from blocking for 1 mana. It's still just okay, and this roller crusher ride is potentially going to come down and make Zack very very sad.
Are we getting on the ride now?
He
Are
says
we?
no. He says, I mean, not before attacks. I mean, he is just dead to the
I
Shattered
guess.
Yard.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's no need to. There's no need to
oh,
ride.
there's the other Nashi.
Oh my god.
I
All right.
mean,
I think
he's just
Zach did the best they could with the hand dealt. It was a tough one, I think.
yeah. I understand Mulligan to 5. It's hard. Like it's hard, and you see your opponent is playing evasion creatures, so you just say I have to swing. Like
Exactly.
it's the right concept. It's just it was just
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
no way he could keep up here.
I would have mulled the same hands. I mean, yeah, that first one did not look appealing, and then the
And
second one having no lands.
Chris just pressed done way too fast. I mean, when you're week 1 and you're playing 3 colors, I can speak from experience having played a lot of the leagues. Week 1,
Yeah,
match 1, I don't really have a sideboard.
it is what it is.
I don't have a sideboard.
Zach
Like
is
there's
doing
just
some.
I don't have a
Zach is doing
sideboard.
some thinking here because the
Okay.
deck was originally just green white, but there's a red splash coming in for removal with
Interesting.
glassworks, 2 glassworks, and a trial of agony.
So he
So
was playing green white just off the bat. Well, that's hard.
correct, fully
That
green
is
white. Yeah.
very hard. It was it was doable. I found it was more doable before play boosters. I found play boosters not having color balance makes it hard to have 2 color decks just because there's some colors where you just have like very few options.
In this case, I mean, there's at least 2 fixing I could spot because of the
Yeah,
enduring vitality and of the moldering gym. There's also Spinework Centipede, Spine Seeker Centipede,
yeah.
and a terraforming expanse.
So the
And he's
next
putting in
question
4
is,
mountains.
does he have mountains in his sideboard?
He does, yes. He's just put in
Okay,
4.
okay. Just a pointer for those of you who are newer on the scene. It's not like a normal limited match where you can add as many basic lands as you want between matches. For the purposes of our format and the direct challenge, you are allowed by the rules of the league to add as many basic lands as you want in between a game, but they must be in your sideboard. But you could just add like 20 of each if you wanted to. Like you're allowed to just carry them with you, but they have to be in your sideboard. So if you are ever planning on changing your deck, splashing a color, or removing a splash color and adding more of your other colors back, um, just pack a bunch of extra basics in your sideboard. Um, Again, I only got a very very quick look at Chris's deck, but it did look basically like only red blue with I think Nashi and a couple removal spells. So very
Mm-hmm.
very light on the black it seemed.
This is a way more sensible hand. It's got 2 drops, it's got 3 drops. The cheerleader, the wary watchdog, threats around every corner, and trapped in the screen. So
Okay.
it's looking like a much better game here for Chris
Yeah,
or
nice
for
hand for
Zach.
Chris. Chris, he has the meat locker. He has the boiler bilge ripper, which is at 5 where you have to sack something to shock.
Mm-hmm.
He has diversion specialist, the 4 drop uncommon, the soul ranger, which he's about to play, the megalodon 5/7.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he's got some nice hits here. I did want to
Good
mention
draw.
he did trade it off because he doesn't really have enchantments in hand, but I have been finding that the creeping peeper has been one of the better versions of this effect that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it can help a lot here.
Like there's been in like so many sets the 2 mana blue creature that like taps for something, right? Whether it's
Mm-hmm.
like taps for an artifact, taps for an instant or sorcery, taps for something specific to the set. It's always been like a little dorky and not good.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they got it right this set. It just so happens. Like
I recall there was maybe a good one in March of the Machine. Was that one of the ones that had a good
well,
one? I can't
the
recall.
one that comes to mind for me was Lord of the Rings with the
Oh,
Pelagian
yes, that's it.
Survivor.
That's
That was a
exactly it.
really nice
Yes,
one. But
that was solid.
Yeah, without a land here, Chris is in a bit of an awkward spot because he can land cycle. I think he has to because he can't. He doesn't have any plays on 3 mana except for Meat Locker, and you do not want to put the the Kona in the Meat Locker.
No,
I mean, it's going to get tapped
it
anyway,
thrives. It
but
actually thrives in the meat locker.
he's complimenting him on a spider pet. It's actually a Phyrexian Mite, I believe.
Uh, is it Skrelv? Is
Well,
it
it's
in
like
fact
one of his
Skrelv?
it's like one of his mites. It's just a Phyrexian Mite, I believe. The
It's a
pets,
Skrelv friend.
yeah, the pets don't represent legendary creatures. They're usually like just little pets. That's what they are. But it's a Phyrexian Mite, and if you click on it, it shoots some toxic stuff out of its rear end.
Oh, rude.
Yeah. So threats are on every corner. Great card. Loving that one.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a solid. Just by itself, it's pretty playable. And then it just keeps giving you value if you have your
So I
deck
guess
built right.
nothing crazy coming from the hand here.
No,
For
the hand
for Zack.
only has another planes and a trapped in the screen, so Kona's not providing that much value at this point.
Yeah, Kona. Like when you read it, you're like, oh, cool. And then when you think about how it plays out, you're like, oh, it's just okay. It's like a 4/3. It has no way to get through. What's the crazy thing you put into play? Like maybe a 5 drop, maybe a 6 drop. But like the way it
Have
plays
you
out is
considered
usually it does what we saw here, which is like gets you
it can play
a
lands,
little
right?
advantage. Yep, absolutely.
Second
Yeah,
land, perhaps?
yeah. I remember this card. There was a very similar card from Amonkhet where if you exerted it, it was a 4 mana 3/3
Hmm.
that you if you exerted it, you got that ability. And I just
Oh,
remember being underwhelmed. So
I really like Exert. I think it's good mechanic, good design.
yeah, exert was
Bring,
fun. I
bring
mean,
Exert
but
back.
that card just was nothing special. And yeah, Kona, I think it reads as impressive because it's like it opens up like what are the possibilities you can do with this, and
Hmm.
the possibility is like you put a land in play, you get a 5 drop. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not nothing, but it's not super exciting.
Ooh,
Oh,
this is gonna be
surprise
kind of
Marcus.
gross here. Yeah, I mean, the good news is that it's just another 4. I mean, this is not we're not in danger territory yet.
There's a free beastie coming in,
I mean, yeah, that's cool. But if he's not doing
and
anything, like, does he have anything else to do with the mana?
no, but unless
Yeah. So he
Chris
was.
presents something on the board here, this is lethal next turn with trapped in the screen.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, so I mean, you saw Kona. Okay, you get a free 5 for it to play, but he wasn't doing anything otherwise. So
No.
it's like, okay, your
Yeah.
mana's untapped. That that
Oh,
is worth
we'd love to
something.
see your
But
opponent just
okay.
cycle the Enigma. Oh, okay. There's some
So
protection.
yeah, he just wanted to draw a card here. He like
Oh my god.
he has a meat locker, but ooh,
This
now
is this
that's
is going
now
to be a lot
that's a
more.
great card.
Yes.
Yeah, this
What a beating.
yeah, this is a scary card. This is like when my
Oh, and
opponent
we're
plays
going to
this
get
on
the
turn
free.
one, I am
We're going to see the
scared.
flex play of a land off of Kona
Oh,
now.
sure, why not?
Oh no!
No,
Oh, he's
he
just
says
holding
I'm
on to
not
it.
showing
Wants to
you. I don't
preserve
want
the
to.
mystique.
Yeah, this Boiler Bilge Ripper, I think, is a card that might be one of the first cards to come out of the deck once he
Totally.
gets
It's
untaxed. He has
very
two of them, and
underwhelming.
it's just yeah. So looking a bit more at his deck, he has a Waltz of Rage too, as well as the
Hmm.
the, the two Nashis. Um, and the Roller Crusher ride. Yeah, he's got a nice red blue deck here with
I
again very
typically
very
want
light
Waltz
black
of
stuff.
I want Waltz of Rage in a red green so that I can use it on the 7/6 Trampler,
Yeah, that'll
which
do it.
you'll usually have access to. It's a great finisher.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually had it. I had it today. I think it was the first time I had it in a draft, and it was quite good.
mhm. Yeah, had it done to me, and I realized, oh, okay, that's I see how that works.
Well, what's better is when you do it on like your second biggest creature, so you get two
Hmm.
creatures left over, and you wipe
Yeah,
opponent's board. Like I did it on my 4/5 when I had a 5/5, and it killed everything else in play.
it's a fun design, and it's costed interestingly at 5 instead of something cheaper, so it's a cool card.
Yeah, it's
I
uh,
think
it's a bit reminiscent of an old card called I think it was Chandra's. Oh God, I can't remember anymore. But it was It was 5 mana. It was a very similar card. It was target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent.
I think Zack here is considering the mana curve at this point because he has a very consistent deck here.
Yeah.
All things considered, I think this works out in his favor versus a deck that's more powerful but maybe a bit more inconsistent. So I didn't quite see if he did manage to get that curve down. He might have kept the same. This is now a tough hand because this is 3 lands, but they're 3 planes. And then Jump Scare, Ghostly Dancers, which obviously amazing, Glassworks, and Horrid Vigor. So this is a tricky
Okay.
tricky decision because Ghostly Dancers is maybe one of the best or the best card in the whole set. And he has 3 of the lands needed to cast it, but he mulliganed it away, which I think is probably safer.
I will say, I mean, Ghostly Dancers is great. Green White has been probably the worst deck for it.
Yeah, I can
I
see that. Yeah.
know I know it wasn't me, but somebody was streaming a draft here on the server, and they ended up with a white green deck and just cut the Ghostly Dancers. They just didn't have enough of jammers. It just
Wow.
didn't make sense. Like it was just not possible. So we have
So
we
now,
have what we call Tron here for Chris, which is in limited means you drew all 3 colors in your opening hand, right? So Island, Swamp, Mountain. Um,
but we have a curve out here, which is
yeah,
looking pretty good.
yeah. So he did
There's
have
2
the
more lands
Mushroom
in
turn
hand.
too. Okay.
There's threats around every corner, and then there's a moldering gym wake room. So
Wow, that's pretty
it's a
good. That,
solid
that means that
solid
means
play. Yeah.
he's getting a trigger every turn from this scavenger, and Chris does
Hmm.
not has no way to kill it. He has a stocked researcher, which is that 2 mana 3/3. He has Get
Hmm.
Out, which is the double blue counterspell. He does have Waltz of Rage, which he can maybe build towards, and he has that Diversion Specialist at 4/3 for 4. But with no removal, this scavenger is extraordinarily threatening, and he just has to attack. He
Yeah.
says, "Wow, wait, whoa, huh."
Okay.
I mean, if I have Moldering Gym and Threats on every corner in hand, I am not trading off that scavenger.
Maybe he's just thinking if he's attacking with Nashi, that means he's in a position where he absolutely needs the cards.
Well, he can't block because Zack can just equip the equipment on the scavenger and attack through the 2/2. So
Mm.
wow, I'm surprised he traded out that scavenger. That scavenger I think was gonna really define this game, and now he's
Yeah.
just kind of doesn't have a huge board. He has a 2/2 and a 1/1 versus a 4/3 and a 3/3 that
Oh.
can't yet attack.
But underneath that manifest is the Lionheart Glimmer,
Oh, that's a fun
which
one.
is very good. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do want the trigger, you do need to flip it up before combat. Flipping it up mid combat will not be helpful. But yeah, very very solid card here.
Trying to figure out where to put the Glimmer light on. Going onto the Glimmer.
I
Seems a
mean,
bit circular to me, but
makes
okay.
sense. All right, so now he has drawn a mountain here, so he can do the Waltz of Rage here. Kill
Wow.
both of opponent's creatures and basically draw a card.
Oh no, that is a tough one.
Yeah.
So
So
if all of the counters had been stacked onto the obsessive whatever thing that makes glimmers, would they have survived this Waltz of Rage?
the optimistic scavenger. I mean, depending on
Yes.
how he threw the counters around, perhaps. I mean, there's a 5/5
Mm.
coming that Chris can't do anything about. So his
Yeah.
hand is Island and Get Out, which is that double blue counterspell.
And underneath this one is a fear of immobility, I think, the 4/4. So
Okay, so
that's a massive creature now
flip it up and have a
hiding there.
7/7. I mean, blue red. I mean, I guess they could bounce it, tap it, but they don't have too many answers to that. He does have a counter spell here, but I think the thing that that is the pro. Yeah, so the menace is able to get in here. So
Hmm.
he's poking away at the life total pretty nicely here with this menace. Hand that
Threats around every
feeds.
corner has also provided a lot of value.
Yeah, that card is just absolutely great. I am a lot of people know I like these. I like the face down strategies. I built a commander deck around face down cards before there was support for it in commander.
Mm.
So I've always liked these
Big play,
face. I just
big
find it
play
fun.
coming, but I think it's gonna get blown out by Get Out. It's Ghostly
Yeah,
Dancers.
this ain't happening. he
That's
said
tough.
he
That's tough.
said I can do this. This is what I can do. I can't stop you from having a five
Um,
five that might be something scary,
yeah.
but I can stop that. I think he. I wonder if he's going to leave it. I wonder if he's going to leave his creatures back to block. We'll see.
I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
says. Yeah, he
I
says
don't
I'm
know
going to
about this.
block. So Chris is drawing another land, so I think he's going to sack his hand here.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan of this hand that feeds. I feel like so often you're playing it as just a 2/2 for 2, and that's not enough, honestly.
Yeah, in draft, I've liked it in red green. I find that you could consistently get the delirium, just play say its name and then a couple other things. But yeah, in most other decks, it's a card I end up passing on quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be more of like a card you just play in every deck, and it didn't end up being too much that. But well, dancers
Answers
look
are
like they're
back.
coming back,
Yeah.
and this might be some big trouble here. So no room to unlock, so he doesn't get the value right away. But yeah, this is just a machine. This thing just
Yeah,
pumps
this
out
is
three
gonna be.
ones. You basically like there's so few cards that are going to be able to cleanly stop this from doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, he's
Ended
going
up
to be
getting
back to
Lionheart
Lion.
Glimmer, which obviously I think adds a lot of power to the table once gets going. That's a good one.
Yeah, so this is slipping away from Chris here. He had a nice, he had a decent start. He actually, I think, got a bit fortunate that Zack was wanting to trade off that scavenger, where it could have stayed in play and been a lot more powerful.
Yeah, it
So
was a good recovery.
I think hopefully he's going to reread the diversion specialist. Unlike a lot of the red effects, you have to play the card that turn. So sacking at end step is not going to work. So a lot of the red effects these days, you can play it till the end of your next turn. The diversion specialist says sack a creature enchantment, exile, and you could play it this turn. I think he
I feel
almost
that's the
sacked that
kind
end
of
of turn.
thing that they should keyword in some way because it does get kind of annoying to have to constantly, read all the way to the end to be like until the end of your turn, next turn. It really can only exist at the end of the sentence. So keywording that would be
Yeah,
helpful.
I mean you have to read basically every single one of these red cards. So
Yeah,
a lot of
and we all
them,
know reading. Who wants to do that? I don't. I'm
yeah,
good.
a lot of them, mostly they've moved towards end of next turn. But some of these ones that are like
Yeah.
repeatable, they'll do it for this turn because the diversion specialist is repeatable. So they say, okay, just play it this turn. You can't just do it every. You can't just
So there's a Lionheart
stockpile
Glimmer in
cards.
hand, but there's also a Frantic Strength, which grants trample, and
And I
that's
mean,
yes.
yeah, Eerie is not capped at once a turn, so this could be a brutal turn of events here.
They're getting their party started. Everybody's dancing.
Yeah, this might be getting towards spiraling too far out of control here. Yeah, attack with the 6/6. You said that was well, it doesn't matter what's under. You can't flip it, but interesting. He's
It's the
not
four
putting the
four.
ghostly dancers in peril here. I guess he just values it as a blocker.
Maybe, yeah. I wonder what card he could be
So
worried about. Also,
this isn't super useful because again, it's
yeah. I
this
mean, if there was a
wording
one
that doesn't
black,
let you keep it.
yeah, and there's
Here's a
nothing at one
card.
black.
Here's a card. I hope that this is the first card he cuts because this is not a the found footage. He ain't doing it for me, but at least he sees what's under the face down if he wants to. Um,
Yeah, it's
and he did emote the oops there. I think he is realizing perhaps. I mean, this
mhm,
might be one of the first time he's played with this card. It's his first league match. Who knows how
yeah.
much he's played with this specific card in draft or sealed. But I think that's an error he'll know from now on.
Yeah, but that scorching dragonfire, it wouldn't even
But don't
really
you
be
want to
able
see the
to.
face down card before you sack your found
Uh,
footage?
that's true. Get a little peek. What's this last draw?
It's the fear of burning alive, which deals 4
Well,
damage to something, which
yeah.
is he does have the delirium,
You
so
know,
he will be able to kill a creature, but it's not the creature he wants to kill. The creature he wants to kill is just that orange.
oh, and you know what? Insult to injury.
Hey, okay, yeah. I mean, your removal spell gets you a 3/1. Yeah, Ghostly Dancers is
Uh,
it's just, I mean one of the best cards in the set. We know that.
this that's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
Almost could have almost killed him, put him down to 1 with
Yeah, see, the
strength,
thing
but
about
held it up.
Ghostly Dancers is it ends the game really fast.
Yeah, it just explodes into party
All right,
ghosts
so
very fast.
a fun match here. Got to see both decks sort of do their thing, but Zach got to get the advantage there, particularly with that Ghostly Dancers. It just took over the game. And congratulations to Zach, and we'll be back in a few moments for the Valgavoth Showdown.